is the well-seasoned Gourmand.
We're gonna feed you, you're gonna explode all over the wall.
The show where we talk restaurants, bars, dives, and food all over New England for you, the best foodies anywhere.
You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
With your host, Tommy Grella.
The only thing that he could get involved with, really involved with, was a meal.
David Garofalo.
Did you ever have that with chocolate chip ice cream?
Mr. Jonathan.
Did you ever suck the jelly out of a jelly donut and then fill it with chocolate swirl ice cream?
And Sizzlin' Sharon on the wheels of steel.
What's she doing? I never know what she's doing back there.
It's time for the well-seasoned Gourmand.
We want it now!
With thin layers of banana on top.
Because we do.
I never get sick of hearing that.
No.
So welcome.
We have theme music.
We have an official
That's the official open right there.
official opening now on the well-seasoned Gourmand. And I think
And
it's
if I
hilarious.
don't, and if I don't say so myself, it's perfect.
Oh, it's dead awesome. Mr. J, you like it?
I don't know about that sucking the jelly out of a jelly donut and then filling it with ice cream.
I've done it.
This is the
I've done it.
We've all done it. And he's
You
making-
two have
They
done
haven't
it.
done it.
You two
We've
have done
done
it.
And this is what the show is.
Yeah.
Find these oddities. You didn't know you could do that. Suck the jelly out of a jelly donut and fill it with
And I'm
ice
gonna
cream.
try that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe you try. We tell you how it is. If it doesn't come out good, we'll let you know. But we try things. This is how. Remember?
I'd do it again. It's a good time.
Yeah, I remember the first time me and you took a road trip before, and we're
Connecticut.
driving, and then it got
Yeah.
into that of, you ever actually grill a peanut butter sandwich?
Yeah.
You know, it got into that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, no, I didn't. And it turned into
Yeah.
that.
That's when we had
On our way to dinner.
That's when Dave and I had one of our first bro moments.
Yeah.
It was a bromant.
Bromid.
So welcome to the well-seasoned Gourmand. As Dave said, I am Tommy Grella, self-taught chef, Food Network star, season 3 finalist, 5-year restaurant owner.
You're a big deal.
Started
Overall
in the restaurant.
sexy man.
Yeah, you're a big deal.
I've been in the restaurant business since I was 17, one way or another. So I definitely know the food business. And I'm here with David Garofalo of Two Guys Smoke Shop here in Salem, New Hampshire.
And I know nothing about the food business. No, I owned a diner.
You did. You
My
owned a diner.
my first business, I owned a diner.
And you worked for Riley's Roast Beef.
I did.
Someday we'll talk about your your professional entertainment
No,
career.
we won't get into that.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good. Someday we'll tell you guys
Yeah.
about this.
Gonna have to get to know you better.
Getting to know you.
And Mr. Jonathan is my DJ, because he is.
That's right.
Sharon is not on the wheels of steel today. Unfortunately, she has pneumonia. So
Pneumonia.
sorry. We love you, Sharon. We hope you feel better soon. So, where have we been eating lately? Brought to you by Holden Fruit and Produce in Everett, New Hampshire. Premier produce distributor.
Everett, Massachusetts.
Delivers to Mass, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island. Check them out on www.manta.com/Holden Produce. And this week we are visiting Rosebud American Kitchen and Bar in Davis Square in Somerville. Who's been?
Rosebuds?
I know I've been.
Yes.
Rosebud. Have you been since they changed it?
I've been in the 80s when it was a nightclub at night.
Well, it feels like a nightclub now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Well,
this place
Somerville
is
is a different world now.
Somerville is a different world.
Yeah, it's a cool place now.
Davis Square, it's got some of the best restaurants around.
It used to be a dump, and it was known as Slummerville.
Yes.
And then now it became chic, artsy, and the place to go.
Yeah, it started with, in my opinion, it started with Red Bones.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, barbecue.
I started going to Red Bones in 1987. So I know they've been around since at least then. And then I think the city's got better and better.
I did a cigar dinner in there in probably 87. It was before 90. I mean, it was early on when you could smoke in the bars and things like that, places like that. I did a cigar tasting inside there.
Really?
They had lots of microbrews.
Yeah, they still do. They actually have a wheel on the wall. You could spin the wheel if you don't know what if you're one of those jerk customers
good
that says,
idea.
I don't know, what should I have? The bartender spins the wheel, and whatever it lands on is what you're going to have.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
It's nice. But we're talking about Rosebud, American Kitchen and Bar in Somerville, and it is not your typical diner. It looks like a diner from the outside. It's a beautiful building. You go in, when you see it from the outside, it looks like an old little diner. You walk in, and the first thing you're going to be amazed about is the actual size of this place. This is not a small little diner. You walk in, there's a huge bar going straight back, and you realize the building is very deep at this point. There's some dining area to your right. There's more dining off to the left. And the first thing you're going to notice is the beautiful bar and the music pumping in the background. This is not my father's restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, Tom Sr.'s not going to like it.
Yeah,
it's too loud. I don't like the music.
Yeah.
They don't serve at Tom Collins. This is not your place. All right? But if whole roasted pig's head sounds nice to you, did I say that right?
Yes.
I did. Whole roasted pig's head sounds good to you, then let me tell you, this is one of the greatest places. So
You like the cheek? You like the cheek?
Cheeks are delicious. Cheeks are good. So we go there.
Is that really a thing?
Cheek, yeah.
You can walk in and say, I'll have the
Pig's head.
The pig's head.
They have
I would like it whole,
roasted.
whole barbecued.
and I would like it roasted.
So you're skipping around on me here, but I did it to myself, I guess. So that's what I got, of course. How do I think? You know this, right? What's the biggest thing on the menu?
Yeah.
Right?
I'll have that.
I'll have that.
Does it come with sides?
Yeah. So they have an Asian barbecue hog's head. Comes with kimchi, scallion relish, and homemade slider buns. And you sit
kimchi.
there with this whole hog's head that's been slow roasted for hours with a crispy skin.
How do you
and
know
gotta
what
dig
parts
for
to
the
eat?
meat. You know. You just start pulling it apart.
If it comes off, you eat it.
Yeah. There you go. Some of the ear
Listen,
bits
I'm
are
not all
crispy,
that
it's
picky
delicious.
when it comes to eating.
It's awesome.
And I would try it, but I would want to talk to someone who had had it first. I'm glad you're talking about this.
The cheeks is the go-to thing from what I understand.
Yeah, you're
That's why I
absolutely.
mentioned
Cheeks
it.
and jowls is where
Yeah.
the fat to meat ratio is basically perfect.
Yeah.
So it's another portion of the pig you could consider bacon.
Yeah. Actually, I'm so glad you mentioned
Yeah?
that because in Italy they make a kind of bacon called guanciale from the jowls. It's bacon. You know what pancetta is?
Yeah.
Pancetta is Italian bacon rolled, and they slice it.
Sure.
Okay? But they don't smoke like they do bacon in the United States. They're just salt cured. Guanciale is the same thing made from the jowl of the pig. But it's got the same consistency. It's got the streaks of fat and meat. It's awesome. So you get part of the jowl there too. So from the outside, like I said, looks like a diner. Menu's mostly new American Southern dishes with kind of a flair. We had fried Brussels sprouts with barbecue sauce and blue cheese dressing. I'm not a vegetarian, as you know. I'm not into like a lot of vegetables. Like I'll have a couple.
But they can make them taste good.
Like a salad to me is a promissory note that food is
Yes.
soon to come.
Soon to come.
That's what, you know.
is.
Oh look, I'll wait here.
Yeah.
Something good. That's a John Panette, but I gotta give him credit for that. But we also had dry fried green beans with a smoked pork shoulder. They were sautéed with sesame seeds, obviously sesame oil and soy sauce. They were amazing. Like they weren't crispy. They were kind of cooked until they were shriveled, but they were so tasty and delicious. I was like, this is the beginning of greatness. Now you look at the menu. The menu is the size. It's like holding a road map from the 1980s before we had GPS.
Yeah.
It's huge, right?
Do you have to know how to fold it to give it back to him?
No, it's laminated, so you can't fold it. It's big.
Oh, all right.
But you turn it over to the back side, and the whole thing, the whole back side, is whiskeys and bourbons that they have there. There had to be a couple hundred, easy.
It's impressive.
Moonshines, bourbons, whiskeys, ryes. If you're I call it brown water. That's
Yeah.
what I refer to all whiskey and scotch, right? Brown water. If you're a brown water guy, this is one of the best lists around. And the prices were reasonable. I wouldn't say, cheap. I wouldn't call it expensive, though, either, because it's a diner-type environment. We also got there a fried chicken thigh platter with black pepper gravy.
Also got.
Well, you can't. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm
Stacy-
impressed, and I go big, but holy God.
This is how the trip goes.
Yeah.
Stacy comes in from Valdosta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Stacy flies in for a conference. We go to pick him up at the airport. He said to us ahead of time, plan to take me out somewhere to eat. So we want to get out of the city and out of the traffic fast, but eat fairly quickly. We're headed up north here to the New Hampshire border, so we stop in Somerville.
Yeah.
And we stop at Davis Square and we go to Rosebud. He's blown away. So there's 3 of us there that
Okay.
night. So we go there. I said we get that
The
chicken
hog's
platter.
head is for one,
That,
obviously.
well, it's supposed to be for 2.
Right.
Yeah, whatever. I weigh as much as 2.
Yeah.
Easily.
Texas Rachel sandwich in a skirt, which is essentially a Reuben made with beef brisket. So, Dave, you would love this, right? They put extra cheese on the bread, So when they griddle it, the cheese forms a skirt of browned cheese.
Yeah.
So when you get it, you're holding the sandwich, you got a skirt around your sandwich.
I didn't know you could do that on purpose. I've done it by accident. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, this is a thing. This is a good thing. You know when cheese gets on the grill, it gets crispy on one side.
There's nothing better.
It's awesome.
There's nothing better.
Can I have some more of that,
Yeah,
please?
you got to peel it off.
Oh, so good.
Someone needs to come out with a dish that's that.
Yeah.
Just the crispy cheese. The leftovers after you're done cooking cheese.
Well, there is sometimes they make Parmesan chips. You ever had these?
No, I've never, no.
You take shredded Parmesan cheese, the finely shredded stuff, you put it on a silpat, which Wicked Cuisine, you can get their silpats, right? Put a little pile in a silpat, put it in a hot oven, take it out in a couple minutes, and let it rest for a minute. It will come out like a chip.
I've had it.
Parmesan chips.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, they're good. So why buy a Ritz cracker? We can
So
use
you
the whole
could make
cheese as the chip.
You could make, theoretically, just stick with me here. You
Sure.
could make yourself these Parmesan chips.
Yeah.
And you could have the
Dunk cheese.
You could have the cheese and the spinach dip on the side. So you could be using
I
cheese
guess you could put spinach
to
in it,
scoop
too,
the
if you
cheese
wanted
with the
to.
spinach out.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
that's a good time. You know what?
I'm in.
They're good as crisps on a salad, like on a Caesar salad, This is
AKA
Parmesan.
promissory note, as you alluded to earlier.
But hey, it's mixed.
But if you're staying away from carbs, you could have the cheese chips.
which clearly all of us here do.
Yes, as you can see.
Yeah, and carbs, not carbs. You stay away from carbs.
Carbs.
Don't worry, folks. He does add the R onto the end of words that end in A, all by himself.
So I want to tell you about an awesome drink they have there at Rosebud. It's called the Lunch Card number 773. It's a
Not to be
combo-
confused with the 774, which is an altogether different product.
That's right. That's right. It's a cocktail of gin, lemon, and lavender. Okay?
I'm down.
It's a nod to the actual model number of the diner car, which is in front of the restaurant. That's why they come up with model number
Lavender.
773.
So what
Lunch
is the
card number
cocktail?
773.
What is the ingredient to get lavender?
It is actually
Lavender
a
is a
lavender
flower.
liqueur.
Really?
They actually make
Yeah.
a lavender liqueur. It's kind of hard to find. And I'm going to say this now for my foodie friends out there who are anti-gin, because there are a few of you late to the party on this one. Vodka's a wonderful beverage. I like all things. You're going to find this with me in the show everywhere, right?
Vodka is a gin.
Well, gin is botanical flavored vodka, right?
He's smiling over there like he just invented the wheel.
Yeah.
He learned that last week.
Everything starts as vodka, which is a neutral distillate.
It is.
Then you add botanicals to it, and you've got gin. Gin is the new vodka. I mean, if you're not drinking gin martinis or trying gin and cocktails, you're doing
Well, and
something disservice.
they're doing something altogether different lately with gin, that you get these craft gin-eries that are making unbelievable concoctions that still are gin.
They're trying
but
to catch up with the vodka craze. That vodka went crazy with all the flavored vodkas and things like that. So everybody went vodka. Here comes gin.
Gin with a botanical side. It's not the
1930s,
artificial flavors.
Gin was where it was at.
Yes, 1930s, but this is 2017.
Yeah, and
They have bubblegum vodka now. That's what Dave's
Right,
talking
we're,
about.
we're all grown up. Do you want let me put it to you this way. Do you want a plain sugar cookie, or do you want a peanut butter cookie with chocolate chips in it?
Yes.
All right, then that's what gin is to vodka. That's a good way to say it. But Mr. Jonathan's right. They're making all kinds of craft gins. These aren't your grandmother's gins anymore, okay? The primary flavor in gin is juniper, but they don't all use all juniper. They all use other botanicals as well, like orange peel,
And
lavender.
Hendrix, for example, is weighted less toward the juniper and more toward
That's
the
right.
cucumber side.
Yeah, that's a great gin. Caprock is one of my favorite, which is a bioorganic gin that's distilled from apples. It's fantastic. It's not too heavy on the juniper. Blue Coat, which is one I mentioned that I had at Strega Prime, which is a fantastic gin. But gin is the way to go. If you see a gin cocktail, don't turn your nose up at it until you've tried it. That's what I would say. Sharon says she's watching us. We're all smoking cigars and it looks awful.
No, because this is a radio show. It doesn't matter.
Well, we are live right now. All right, so to finish up, Rosebud is known for, Dave, homemade pie.
Yep.
Dave likes a pie.
I do like a pie.
Not pie, pie.
Yes.
6-inch high.
Stack of pie.
Homemade pies.
Watch them fly, baby.
I didn't know you could make pies more than just the 1.5 inches, which is the standard thickness.
You skinny people just...
Mile
that's
high
why you-
apple pie? Never heard of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you
Quincy
cut
Market,
it,
remember
the
in
inside,
80s? Quincy Market, in the
Yes,
80s,
of
mile high
course.
apple pie.
Of course.
when you cut into the apple pie, it's deceiving. There's all that air in it.
So what? Whatever.
That's not
The
really-
crust goes high.
Well,
It's crazy.
I had the lemon meringue pie.
You fill it with cream. You
And
ever
it
have
was-
an apple cream pie, and then it's apple, and then it's cream filled up inside that thing? You just stick it in there and fill the thing right up.
Oh, this is why we're
Huh?
friends.
I've not had the pleasure. but
No?
I'm going to do that now.
Absolutely.
I'm learning so many things.
Get the mile high, make a mile high apple pie. There's a lot of air in between, and you stick the hose in there with the
Whipped cream nozzle.
Fill it up. Let
It's
it
a good
sit there
time.
for a while. Oh my God! When the first person cuts into it, it's like, oh my God!
Yeah.
What did you do?
You're the
And
greatest
yeah.
ever.
And if you
Yes,
still have any of the nitrous oxide left after you're done,
Yeah.
have yourself a party.
There we go.
Remove your own teeth.
So Rosebud Kitchen, again, has great homemade pies. They offer at least 5 different kinds every night. Again, we had the lemon meringue. I swear it was 6 inches high if it was anything. Save room for the dessert at this place for sure. Be prepared, by the way, this place gets busy. Service can sometimes be a bit slow.
It's been there forever.
Just be patient. Enjoy your drink. Enjoy the atmosphere. People watch.
It's having a new life.
It's a
because
young, hip
Yeah.
place to go.
Somebody
and the
bought
menu's
buy
great.
it. How about the owners? Is it still the same people? It can't be, right?
They're a group that owns that, and I believe the Painted Borough, and one more in Davis Square in Somerville. They
Okay.
own several restaurants. Brilliant group. They're doing a nice job. I love this place. I love going to this place. You know, it's not. They don't have the most eclectic things. A lot of the menus we just described, you know, the Reuben, the fried chicken dinner, they're homey. They're approachable, and they're reasonable. I think
Comfort food.
The fried chicken dinner was something like $14 or $15. It was huge. So, great place. RosebudKitchen.com if you want to check them out. And that's where we've been. Also, we're going to talk about in the news. Start with in the news. Dave, what is today?
Today is National Pizza Day.
National Pizza Day.
And I haven't had a slice yet.
What's wrong with
I
us?
say yet. There's a snowstorm behind us, just so you know. We got 1.5 feet. The show must go on. We've got Tommy over here. We brought him in. The show is going to go on, but we have no pizza. But the night is still
We
young.
need to change this.
The night is still young.
Out of respect to the
Oh,
day.
of course.
Now, both of us, this is how serious we are. Both of us have pizza ovens at home.
Yes.
Not like a stone in our oven. No. A full brick pizza oven built in our backyards.
This will be my second one I have.
This is a devotion to food that we
Because I moved,
maintain.
and I couldn't take the pizza oven with me. It weighed too much. Couldn't get it out. So I had to build another one.
Mr. J?
I have an oven at home that I cook pizza in.
Yeah, you put a stone in it, and it's
That's
a
good.
good shot.
That's-
It's better than nothing.
There's levels of foodiness,
Yeah.
right? You got
I'm entry level at best,
Yeah.
Right, how
apparently.
hardcore are you?
entry level, midland, and then expert level. Dave and I are at expert level.
The
That's
funny
why
thing about
we can
pizza,
do
though,
this.
is there's great pizza,
Yeah.
good pizza, and then there's pizza, and it's okay, too.
There's not a lot of really bad pizza.
Yeah, you can eat it no matter
Pizza
what.
is a lot. I've always said it's like sex. I mean, even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few out there that really.
Still talking about the pizza?
Yeah, but let me ask you. At the end of it, you know, you got extra pizza, you don't eat it later on?
Oh,
You
yeah.
end up throwing it out?
No,
you
that's-
ever
that's-
throw a slice out? Ever?
I get mad if Sharon does that.
Yeah,
I get
well,
mad.
you know,
Put it in the freezer, save it for that midnight snack.
Emergency. We call that an emergency at my house.
It's a pizza emergency. Hurry up. 2 slices stat.
Real
All right, the
stat.
two of you need to move on because I can't handle the glass cutters you got poking out
All
of your
right.
shirts over there.
So keep in mind as I ask this question, we're a New England show, not just where we live. Best pizza places around. Mr. Jonathan.
I am a huge fan of beach pizza, but I can't always get to the beach. And there's a place that opened up called Beach Pizza right behind us here in Salem, New Hampshire, so I can have the flavor of beach pizza, the flat, sweet sauced, little extra slice of provolone on top, well done, right out back. I can walk
Now
out
they
the
have
back
a
door.
location there. They have a location in Haverhill, and then also Tripoli's Bakery, which is one of the original beach
Yep.
pizzas, has a location in Lawrence, North Andover.
So what is beach pizza? That people are listening to this beach pizza.
Tell 'em.
So first off, it's cut in a square. It's a tray baked in, and it has a sweet sauce to it. And it has very little cheese on it. If you want extra cheese, they put a slice
Of
Sharp
provolone.
provolone right on top.
Right.
Just a round circle, boom, they put it on there. They don't even have to heat it up. The heat of the sauce will melt that, and you're ready to go.
And it used to be that they would only offer provolone and pepperoni.
Okay.
But now at some of the locations, they offer other toppings too. But it's usually sitting on a tray cold when you walk in. They have a tray of pizza. You tell them how many slices, and if you want extra cheese or not. They put them in the oven, heat them up, and
Yeah.
hand them to you in a box with some napkins.
Because what's better than leftover pizza besides nothing?
Pizza's good.
Now, there is
But that you think that is the greatest pizza. I crave that every once in a while because you want something odd because it's got that sweetness to it. But that's not the and when I talk pizza, I'm talking a cheese pizza. I don't want pineapple on my pizza. I don't want anything. I want a cheese pizza. Everything is based around the cheese pizza. Don't go to California and get all kinds of
Oh,
avocados
yeah.
and crap, and that's not pizza.
The Wolfgang.
Give it a different
California
name.
it is still pizza.
No, it is
with
not.
toppings.
Yeah.
All right,
We're
so
just talking to
favorite
cheese
pizza. Now, beach
Well,
pizza. We
I
gotta
like the
mention
beach
is-
pizza, but I wanted to just segue from the beach pizza. My favorite slice of pizza that I've ever had is a place in Haverhill, Massachusetts called Napoli's.
Yes.
And as a kid,
very, very different.
as a kid, you had to get the pizza before 2 o'clock because they would often run out. However much dough they made for that day, that's it.
And they're only open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Craziness. Craziness.
Have you ever had it?
I have never.
Okay,
Oh.
so this is very
It's
different.
exceptional.
So it's a square pizza. They have rectangle size slices is what you buy, and the typical one for those in the know, they get just the original way, which is grated cheese.
Yeah.
So when the pizza comes out of the oven, they do put two things on it. So they bake it with the sauce, comes out of the oven. They hit it with a ton of grated cheese. I think it's Romano that they use.
I believe it is.
And then they hit it with a good soaking of olive oil
After.
and you eat it just like that. No mozzarella. They will make it that way, but if you want to walk in and know that you're in the know and give them the I know what I'm doing, I've been
Yeah.
here before.
Yeah.
You get it the standard way with the grated cheese and the olive oil on top.
Fantastic.
And by the
It's
slice.
amazing.
That's how you buy it, by the slice.
Or by the tray.
Oh, you can buy by the tray.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not open often. That's a good time. You got to go there.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good
I can't
time.
believe
Mark that up
you're
there.
up in this area and you've
No.
never heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
So beach pizza, so that those who don't know, when Mr. Jonathan says that, he's referring to Salisbury Beach in Massachusetts and Hampton Beach in New Hampshire. They're adjacent to one another. That's where the beach pizza that he's talking about is known. The three places are Tripoli, Christie's, and Cristaldi's. And then as Mr. Jonathan mentioned, there are a few places down, actually it'd be
West.
northwest,
Yep.
southwest of the beach, in the Merrimack Valley area that have beach pizza, Tripoli's, Napoli's, and this place called Beach Pizza as well.
Yep.
Moving to Mr. Garofalo, you're more of an Everett guy. Best pizza around for you?
Is Tops.
Tops.
We call it Tops,
Yeah.
and that's people in the know. If you try to Google Tops, you're not going to find it.
Right.
Because
But
there is no
it's-
such place.
But it is called
Santopio's. Santopio's in East Boston. It's near Logan Airport, and it is old school. When I tell you old school, the good news is they have salt and pepper shakers now. In the old days, it used to be baby food jars with nail holes in them and the salt and
That's
pepper.
right.
When I say old
That's
days,
right.
it was like last year that they ended up getting, and I walked in, I go, wow, you guys are really starting to add things in here. Because they haven't done a thing ever to this place.
Yeah, that's right.
This is the place where the mobsters went. Actually, somebody was killed in there before in
Yeah.
the 80s. They killed somebody right in there, but it's real old school. The waiters, it's all waiters, by the way, operate themselves. This is cash only, by the way.
Right.
And they operate with the apron on them filled with money. And when you end up buying from them, they are the bank. They are the only ones that can go up to the pizza thing and get the pizza and the beer and the barbecue that they have. But you want a cheese pizza. It's very interesting because their cheese pizza is kind of backwards. That they put the dough down, then they put the cheese, the sauce goes on last.
That's right.
So what happens is the cheese doesn't burn on the top because it's already wet.
Right.
So it makes it very interesting. I think it's the best. The dough is fantastic. They burn it a little.
That's a
Whether-
good thing.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
You have no
And it's very
choice.
crispy on the bottom.
Yeah.
And they use coarse ground cornmeal on the bottom, which helps with the crispiness of that pizza.
Yeah, dry dough.
I agree.
It stands up by itself.
In Massachusetts, Boston area, I would agree Santopio's is the best. where else in that area do you like?
Well, the battle always was between Santapio's and Regina Pizza.
Yes.
Regina in the north end, the old oven there, but there's other Reginas that are around. And to be honest with you, just as good, you go for the small cheese. Now, I'm not a small guy, but it's different. The small cheese and the large cheese taste different. If you need to eat a lot, get 2 small cheese.
Yes.
Because it is better. I don't know why. It just is better that way. That's the way you got to go.
Now,
with
we
with
went
the
down on a road trip, you and I, Dave, to Pepe's in
Yes.
Connecticut.
Yes. That
And
was
we
Frank
tried,
Pepe's. Frank Pepe's.
Tried the white clam
Yeah,
pizza.
which is what they're known for, and we got the cheese also.
Yes. And you know what? The white clam was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't
It was
what everybody
salty.
said. It was a little
Yeah.
on the salty side, but their regular pizza I thought was fantastic.
outstanding.
I'm going to disagree with both of you. And by the way, we're talking about Frank Pepe's in New Haven, Connecticut,
Yep.
the original coal-fired oven. I think their white clam pizza is to die for. Every time I go to Pepe's, I have to get some kind of regular style pizza and a white clam. And by the way, I'm usually just there with 2 people. We have no chance of finishing, like 1 pizza, let alone 2. But I can't go there and not get the white clam.
Wow, me and Jonathan, the 4 of us went. We got
Hey,
4
well,
pizzas.
we
ate
went-
them all.
You're not a seafood guy. You're a bad judge.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
You
He's-
disagree? You
No,
don't
we,
love seafood?
We
No.
ordered 4 pizzas and we put them down.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
We went with another pro,
Yeah.
but
Well, I love Pepe's, and there, since we're talking about New Haven, Connecticut pizza, which if I had to say what city has the best pizza in all of New England, I say New Haven, Connecticut. You also got Sally's, which they're relatives of Pepe's, that they have another location right there on, it's called Worcester Street, Wooster, Worcester Street, and some of the family left Pepe's and opened up Sally's, and it's still amicable. They say it's slightly different, but there are people who are Sally's people and people who are Pepe's people.
are they just as fast? Because I swear to God, we
the same.
ordered the pizza, and 5 minutes later, 4 pizzas came out.
You must have been there when it wasn't that busy.
But 5 minutes to cook. I mean, it was
It's
from
very
the
fast,
time
'cause
that
it's an
we
800-degree
ordered
oven.
to when we had the
Yeah.
pizzas on the table.
It's
It was
90
5 minutes.
seconds once
Yeah.
they put it in the oven.
Yeah,
90
it's
seconds.
unreal.
Or maybe just a little bit longer. But yes,
Yeah.
it's a very fast cook because they use an 800-degree coal-fired oven, which, by the way, never goes off.
Speaking of coal-fired oven, have you gone to Anthony Stone Coal?
No, I've
this is
heard
a-
of it, but I've not been yet.
This is a Florida pizza place that I've been to the original in Fort Lauderdale many times. The next thing you know, about 6 or 7 opened up in that area, and now finally 1 has opened up in this area. Very good. Very, very good. Anthony Stone Coal. Much
Where is
like
the one
that.
in this area?
Woburn, maybe?
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. It is.
And also, I'm going to give a little homage to some pizza chains that are very good.
Papagino's.
Papagino's.
Papagino's is the best pizza chain around.
You get the rustic?
I love it.
Unbelievable.
I love their pizza. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's.
They're great. Bertucci's?
I love Bertucci's pizza.
So you normally would foo to chain places, right?
We would.
But here
We
you
would.
go.
We're not chain guys.
Bertucci's
There's
and Papagino's.
two that are top notch.
All right, so a couple of ones that we got to mention that were in there is Moderns, which is in New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
Again, and what else?
I got one.
Go ahead.
Chelsea, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Brown Jug.
Oh, the brown jug.
That's bar pizza.
Yes.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Little bar pizzas. You ever go? I ever take you there?
No, you haven't.
Little dump, but they've moved since, and they got a
So
a
the
nicer
bar
dump.
pizza phenomenon is really a south of Boston thing, known more in Quincy and like the South Shore type of places. There's Cape Cod Pizza, which is one of the bar pizza places. But he says the Brown Jug, one of the most famous, little dive, hole in the wall, thin bar pizza. But it's great. It's a good pizza in its own right. So I think we've mentioned a lot of good pizza places out of respect to Pizza
I have
Day.
one.
Yeah.
I have one that we haven't mentioned that is a little bit of a sleeper.
Okay.
Market Basket Kitchen makes an unbelievable pizza. Call it in advance. They don't deliver because it's Market Basket. It's a chain of grocery stores. But if you have a market near you, you can get a really good.
Do you know whose pizza that is?
I can take
I've
a
never
guess.
had it.
It's Sal's.
Obviously,
Sal's.
that was going to be my guess.
That is Sal's Pizza. So Sal's Pizza sells them their dough and their sauce and their grated cheese.
It's very good.
Because whether or not you like Sal's or not, it's not my first choice, but I like Sal's Pizza. Okay, it's down on the list somewhere. But One of the things that they do that I really respect is they grate all the mozzarella at their commissary.
Okay.
So they buy mozzarella blocks and grate it in a refrigerated room, because if mozzarella starts to get warm, it doesn't grate.
The only negative I'll say on Sal's Pizza is I can't eat a lot of it because it's so doughy.
Yes, that's what I don't like.
One pie is 3 pounds.
Yeah, it's mostly dough.
Yeah, it's too doughy.
So speaking of that, because the original Sal's Pizza was at the beach, I got to say, we talked about beach pizza, Bianchi's.
Yes, Revere
Bianchi's
Beach.
in Revere.
You guys
Revere
could do
Beach.
an entire hour on this. I
Yes,
just
we
have a
could.
feeling.
We could. We got to get off this topic. So,
Yeah.
other in the news, there's, according to the bar's Facebook page, place called, and NECN News, place called The Envoy, which is located in the Seaport District, is going to open the 9th. Was that today? They have igloos on the Lookout rooftop, and it's called the bar The Envoy. So, according to the Facebook page, the igloos are heated and lit, making it easy to brave the stubbornly cold temperatures in the snowstorm. They're open Thursday through Saturday only, first come, first served basis from 4 to 10 p.m. Photos posted on the bar's Facebook page now show the glowing electric blue spheres with chairs and small table inside. There's 6 igloos altogether. Each one seats 8 to 10 people comfortably. The bar is located inside the hotel, so when you want to drink, you flip a switch and a red light bulb lights up above, and the cocktail server sees it, comes out your igloo, and gets you a drink.
Sounds
water.
cold, though.
Cool thing to check out.
Yeah.
So that's the Outlook Kitchen and Bar.com.
Certainly takes off the pressure of having to wave your waitress down. You just flip the switch.
I like it.
It's good.
So what better way to spend a Saturday morning than enjoying chocolate samples while strolling through Boston's scenic neighborhoods? What do you think of that?
While streaming The Cigar Authority?
Why not?
There we go.
Or the well-seasoned Gourmand. It's called the Back Bay Chocolate Tour. They give you a chance to indulge in some of your greatest, tastiest treats available.
Is
while
there
your guide
lots of
provides you-
chocolate places there?
There is.
Really? Okay.
There's, they provide you tips on tasting, buying, and storing high-quality chocolate. They begin at Flower Bakery. It's a 2.5-hour walk. Take you to
Wow.
a Swiss chocolatier from the Dom Perignon Champagne Truffle, a famous New England ice cream maker focused on fair trade chocolate, and maybe even a shop that offers bites of chocolate-covered crickets and worms. But
Oh, yeah.
it is interesting.
Do you think you burn off the calories of the chocolate you ate, or
Well, if it's
offset to
covering
some degree?
if it's covering a cricket,
I'm not
you're
as
all set.
interested in that. Let's put it
Yes.
that. If they offered the Segway version, I'm in.
There we go.
What's the weight limit on that Segway? So there's a Saturday, February 18th from 10:15 to 12:45. Admission's $48. Includes all the tastings and everything. Again, starts in Flower Bakery at 131 Clarendon Street.
Even in the winter, huh?
Yep, even in the winter.
Yeah.
And that's www.bostonchocolatours.com/tours/Boston/back-bay. And that's if you want to check that out. But we'll include a link on the website. We'll talk about it so that you can check it out on wellseasonedgourmand.com. We'll do an article on it for you.
$48.
But it's a lot of chocolate.
Yeah.
And Flower Bakery is...
Can you eat
Joanne
$48
Chang is
worth
brilliant.
of chocolate, and they have no location because you're walking?
Who are
Interesting
you asking
business.
that question?
Yeah,
The lady say to me, pardon me, sir, but that price is based on weight.
Yes.
And you, sir, are two people. All right, so in the spirit of things, the 26th Annual Boston Wine Expo is President's Day weekend, February 18th and 19th, from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Seaport World Trade Center in Boston. That annual celebration features more than 1,800 wines from around the world to try, more than 35 different seminars on pairings, tastings, and more chef demonstrations by chefs Preston Miller and Bing-Lu Ruka. Andy Husbands will be there from Tremont 647 and more. There's $100. It's $100 for the tastings, $30 for the seminars. And again, it's at the Seaport World Trade Center. You can check it out at wine-expos.com. And with that having been said, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to mention our kitchen tip, give you a recipe for the week, and a road trip. We'll be right back here on the Well-Seasoned Gourmand. Stay tuned. The Wine Connection of North Andover is a specialty wine store with over 5,000 square feet of wines and specialty liquors. The Wine Connection is expertly staffed at all times with people who actually drink wine. They're very familiar with wine and helpful in introducing you to new wines that you might like without making you feel stupid or trying to break the bank. I love going to the Wine Connection and discovering new and delicious wines I didn't even think about. The staff at Wine Connection always seem to know what to pick no matter the occasion or just for everyday dinner. When you go by, be sure to say hi to Sam and Tina and tell them Tommy G sent you. Ask about their case discounts and wine tastings. Check out the Wine Connection at 117 Main Street, North Andover, Massachusetts, or call them at 877-469-5025.
A-plus Fire and Hoods of New England, servicing and cleaning ventilation hood systems and servicing fire suppression systems, keeping your restaurants up to date and safe. Pat McCarthy and his team of certified experts travel all over New England. Give them a call at 978-686-4363. And remember to tell them Tommy G, the well-seasoned Gourmand, sent you.
McLennan & Company Century 21. Matt McLennan and his team have been helping great people find and list homes in the Merrimack Valley for over 40 years. At McLennan & Company Century 21, they know the market in the Merrimack Valley area and can help you find a new home and sell your existing home. And if you're new to the area, Matt can tell you all the hot spots to eat. Call Matt at 978-683-8008 and tell him the well-seasoned Gourmand sent you.
Jessica's Brick Oven is a family-owned local bakery in North Andover, Massachusetts. They bake all their artisan products 7 days a week, including ancient grain breads, Tuscan breads, delicious, quick rise breads like the banana bread and blueberry breads. You gotta check them out. And how about that delicious cinnamon raisin bread, the best you ever tasted? Available at Market Basket stores and many other local groceries. Why buy some large box brand when you can have delicious Jessica's Brick Oven bread?
Durso Jankowski Insurance. Get behind the shield. Durso Jankowski Insurance has several carriers in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, ensuring that you get competitive pricing for all your needs. Home, auto, motorcycle, RV, renter's insurance, boats, and even commercial coverage. Big company coverage, small company service. Get behind the shield with Durso Jankowski. You can call today at 978-688-7000 and ask for Mike. Tell him Tommy G from the well-seasoned Gourmand sent you.
Restaurant owners, can I have your attention for just a minute? Do you want to serve the freshest seafood available consistently and without overpaying? I know you do. Call my friend Jimmy at Constitution Seafood in Boston. Constitution Seafood is the only company you should buy your seafood from because it's the freshest product available. And get this, they don't deliver just 5 days a week. Constitution delivers 6 days a week all over eastern Massachusetts, much of New Hampshire, and southern Maine. Call my friend Jimmy at 617-330-1283. I'll say that number again, 617-330-1283. Tell them the well-seasoned Gourmand sent you. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back here on the well-seasoned Gourmand. Tommy Grella speaking here today with Mr. Jonathan and Dave Garofalo.
Yes.
Here at our Wicked Cuisine studio. We talked about making Parmesan chips, and you can check out wickedcuisine.com. Go to their website, and they do have a set of Silpats. They were on back order, but it was a great deal. It was like $25 for a set of 3 Silpats, which are great for making those Parmesan chips and others.
What exactly is a Silpat?
A Silpat is
that those silicone?
Silicone.
Oh, I have those.
They're all,
and I have awesome. I have them from
Wicked Cuisine.
From Wicked Cuisine.
Yeah, that's the best deal for Silpat. So, I've never seen them cheaper. So you ever buy a fresh bunch of herbs and only need a small amount?
Yes.
All the time.
Every time I buy.
And if you're buying small bunch of herbs at the grocery store, this is one of the things that they really do mark up. They're $2 or $3 sometimes, like dill's like usually $3. And in the restaurant business, we used to buy like several bunches or sometimes boxes of bunches like parsley, and it's so much less expensive. It's crazy. So, if you're spending the money for a bunch of herbs, here's an idea. Chop up the remaining herbs that you have left all at once and put them into snack-size sandwich bags, or put them in bunches in an ice cube tray, and then pour water over them and freeze them, and then put those in sandwich bags. So you have maybe a tablespoon per ice cube.
That is genius.
Yes. The only thing that really doesn't work that well is basil, because basil gets brown. If you want to keep basil green, then you shock it. So you put it in boiling salted water for literally like 10 seconds, take it out, put it under cold water, get it cold, and then you could put it into a cube and it'll be fine. Also, a little cheater is citric acid. So lemon juice will help keep basil green too, although it does have that flavor.
But does the brown end up changing the flavor of it, or just aesthetic?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't love doing it with basil, but like dill, we do it all the time because dill's expensive. You always buy it to just use a little because it's so potent, and then that's popular. I don't do it with cilantro because cilantro never lasts in my house. I use so much of it.
But you could get it and put it in a sandwich bag and just freeze it.
Yeah, absolutely. Put it in a sandwich bag, freeze it, or if you got enough, make ice cubes out of it, pop up the ice cubes, put them in a baggie, and you have them. Really, really good. Just little tidbit. Right on the outside of the baggie what the herb is, because when they're chopped up and frozen, sometimes you forget which is which. And then you could take like one big gallon-size storage bag and put all your fresh herbs all in them, into the smaller baggies. It's very convenient. This is what I do at home. So now you have pre-portioned herbs in the freezer whenever you want.
Smart.
Make it yourself. This week's recipe
That's a smart tip. Smart.
Wicked smart.
Brought to you by restaurant social media experts. The experts handling your restaurant social media account. They handle your social media so that you can concentrate on the food.
And they do it right. They do it right.
That's right.
Because there's a lot of restaurants out there doing it.
They're not doing it right, that's for sure.
They're not doing it right, and they're spending time doing it wrong and taking time away from their business, which ends up hurting their business also. So two wrongs end up happening. Instead of do it right, hire the pros, let them do it for you, and go from there.
That's right. You can check them out on Facebook or go to their website, restaurantsocialmediaexperts.com. And we're going to talk about the slow-roasted pork belly that I made for Super Bowl, which, by the way, Pats win.
Pats win. What we're expecting. I know you were at halftime. Everybody was saying, imagine they didn't do it this time. No, they did it.
Yeah. They go to overtime, the only overtime Super Bowl in the history of Super Bowls.
Biggest comeback
Something
of all time.
like 30 records broken by the New England Patriots in that Super Bowl.
After halftime, after Amendola missed that last pass, the Patriots had a 99.5% chance of losing the game, and they came back to win it.
Yep.
That was the odds. So kudos to our boys, the Patriots. We love you, and all of New England loves you. Thank you very much. So we're going to talk about the slow-roasted pork belly that I made for this. This is not a recipe you're going to find on your Weight Watchers page, okay?
There you go.
Slow-roasted pork belly. Pork belly is what they make bacon from, but you can buy it before they make it into bacon, which is
So it's
usually
pre-bacon.
comes in a big slab. It's pre-bacon.
They sell futures on this stuff.
They do. They
Yes,
sell
they do.
futures on pork belly. That's right. On the commodities exchange.
That's it.
But if you go to the store and buy it, okay, it usually comes to the store as the whole belly, as a big slab, okay, and comes two ways. Well, for a couple ways. With the skin on it still, or the skin off.
And which way is better?
I'll tell you in a second. And with bone, with the rib bones attached, or with rib bones not attached. For the recipe we're talking about now, I would recommend you buy it bone in, skin attached.
Because you want
So
all the
the
fat,
easy way.
you want the juice, you want it the flavor.
Right. And you don't need a whole belly because that's going to serve a lot of people. But buy like a 3 to 5 pound block, which will be the pork belly is long. Let's say it's 20 to 24 inches. So you're going to buy a piece that's like 8 or 9 inches wide. And so if you're looking at it 8 or 9 inches wide, you turn that, look at it sideways, you're going to see basically a slice of bacon there on the side. That's what it looks like. But you have the skin on one side, bones on the other. And I'm going to give you a couple of tricks right now on our show, but we are posting the recipe on the wellseasonedgourmand.com. The first is you take a razor blade and you put a hash mark in the skin so that you're making, let's say, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch diamonds on top of the skin. So you slice it one way and then on the diagonal the other way. And then take kosher salt and take the pork belly and fold it
You're
so
gonna
that
bend
you're
it so you
opening
open
up
the wounds.
You're opening up the wounds, and you're going to rub kosher salt all in that.
Rub salt in the wound.
What, that's right.
Yeah, literally.
You evil, evil man.
Yeah, you're rubbing salt in the wound.
What you're doing is you're creating the perfect environment for the skin to crisp in the oven. The other problem,
Because the salt dehydrates it a bit.
That's right.
Draws the moisture out.
That's exactly right, and then it'll crisp up. But if you don't want to get that wet, you want that to stay dry. But at the same time, the rest of the meat isn't going to get tender unless you braise it and cook it wet. So here's the little trick. You take that piece of pork belly that's now rubbed with the salt, and you put it in what I used was one of those 9x13 glass Pyrex pans.
Oh, yeah.
And I made a braising liquid with what flavors I wanted. Now, flavors are up to you, but I used a mirepoix, so carrots, onions, celery, garlic, and I added some sweet because I think sweet goes great with fatty meat. So I added some honey, a little bit of tomato paste, a little white wine, a couple other flavors, right? Put it in the oven. So you're filling the Pyrex pan as high as it will go with this boiling liquid. If the liquid's not hot, it's not going to get hot in your oven. So boil off your ingredients first, getting them really hot. Put your pork belly in. By the way, first you got to crisp up the skin. This is in the recipe too, but I fry the pork belly skin side down, put it in the pan, then put it in the Pyrex pan. Then using the pan I just fried the pork belly skin side down in, I make the braising liquid and pour it in.
Well, because you end up with a little bit of the fat that may have leached
That's
off.
right. Exactly.
Little roux.
Little roux.
Little roux.
So
You'll rue the day you cross.
So the
me,
liquid is
Trebek.
coming up the sides of the meat, but keeping the top dry. Take it, put it in the roasting oven, 325 convection for 2.5 hours or so. And when it comes out, again, pull the meat out so the top stays dry. You'll have the nice crisp skin on top. If it's not quite crispy, put the broiler on for the last 5 minutes. Take out that liquid, strain it, and reduce it, and you've got yourself one of the best pieces of meat you've ever had.
And you made it. You made it up.
Well, I mean, I didn't make this up. I made up the actual recipe. You know, I've done this over the years,
Yeah.
but there are recipes that talk about similar thing. Pork belly is a big thing you'll see in a lot of the fancy restaurants nowadays. Pork belly, everybody's doing pork belly, so it's a great recipe. Again, you can check that out on wellseasonedgourmand.com. And moving on to our next section, in the package, Mr. Jonathan, this is all about you.
Is it?
Ancient Harvest. We chastised you the other week for giving us a pasta that was
Made with ancient grains.
made with ancient grains. So
Quinoa.
there's this pasta made by Ancient Harvest that makes a quinoa-based pasta. They have 3 different ones: quinoa and lentil, quinoa and black bean, and quinoa and red lentil. So green lentil, red lentil, and black bean.
This is the
so
gluten-free stuff.
they're gluten-free. They've got 14 grams of protein per serving. They are, for those of you who like the gluten-free or need the gluten-free because you have celiac, not the fake, I have a gluten allergy. If you ever fake you have a gluten allergy at a restaurant, you can stop being my friend. I'll tell you right now, don't ever do that to a restaurant. Tell them you prefer gluten-free. Don't say that you have an allergy if you don't. That's terrible. Well, it forces the restaurant to, if you have celiac, you can't even use the same spoon from one to the next.
There's a lot of extra work.
It's a lot of extra work. So don't do that to a restaurant. Just say that you prefer gluten-free. At any rate, very high protein. They're great pastas. Of course, they're colored, the color of the red lentil, green lentil, or black beans. But for those of you who are really watching it or have a gluten allergy, you want to try an awesome pasta that has a true, made of real food with a great nutritional value, Ancient Harvest. You can check them out on ancientharvest.com. And those pastas are available for $2.50 for an 8-ounce box at Market Basket stores. It's not cheap, guys, but it's good stuff.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Moving on to our road trip. Road trip brought to you by For Your Time, Boston's new instant personal assistant application, currently available in Boston for iPhone users only. You can download the app and have an instant personal assistant at your side to help you with whatever you need on demand. And today's road trip, we're going to talk about going to Keene, New Hampshire. We stopped at a place called the Stage American Bistro in downtown Keene. And honestly, I wasn't expecting much, and boy, was I surprised. You guys ever been?
I've not been.
No.
Not been.
We stop in. We don't. Like I said, we're not expecting much. We're expecting frozen, pre-made pub food type of stuff. We start with crab fritters with chipotle remoulade, because Sharon's never made a crab cake that she didn't like. And it was not a dough ball with crab flavor. It was jumbo lump crab barely held together with product to make it a fritter. It was awesome. They were awesome. I was like, wow, these are good. Very nice flavor crab. We had a tomato cheddar soup, which, I'm not going to order soup in most places most of the time. Tomato cheddar really wowed me. I was like, wow. I think the waitress recommended it. I was like, wow, this really is that good. It's like having the grilled cheese sandwich in the soup without the texture.
Yeah, nice.
It was good. It was really good.
So what made you stop there? You didn't hear about it or anything? You said just here's a place. Let me go in there.
We were on a road trip coming back from somewhere. Where were we coming back from? I don't remember it now. But we had
downhill skiing?
No. That's so funny.
Because I'm scared of some of those things. Here's a place you never went to before. No one ever told you before.
Well, that's the purpose of the show.
I know, but you're kind of asking for trouble because you're going to get this pre-made, pre-frozen product that they dump in the fryer later, and that's what you get.
Well, again, that's why you
Say
have
that
the
like it's a
well-seasoned.
bad thing.
That's why you have the well-seasoned Gourmand. We encourage you to listen to our.
But you must have to hit a lot of losers.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We just don't tell you about them.
Yeah.
I don't believe in spreading the negativity, so I'm not going to tell you about the losers. I'm only going to tell you about the winners. But this place seriously was a winner. Finally, we had chicken and kielbasa from hell. They had it with Tuscan bread. It was nice toasty bread with grilled chicken and kielbasa. It was good. They say it was their most popular appetizer. I would prefer to have just been the kielbasa, not the chicken, but it was
So this waitress
a
helped
nice
you out.
portion. Yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
She was excellent. We both had burgers cooked rare. I like my burgers like mooing.
Yeah.
And they did it, which is fabulous. A lot of places don't do that. They're, what they're doing when they don't cook it rare is, and they're not a corporate place, is they're saying we don't trust our beef.
Yeah.
This place made a statement. No, we trust our beef. We'll make it rare. They were rare. They were awesome. Nice sharp cheddar, great brioche bun. I couldn't have been happier. Then we had we actually split a salad called a country chicken salad, which I had to say was a sleeper. It had ham, fried chicken. That makes it a salad right there, right? Cheddar, fresh greens, boiled egg, and honey Dijon ranch dressing. I would definitely order the salad again. Most people would order the salad as a meal. The salad to me is an accompaniment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely
It's a
check
placeholder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promissory note. The meal will be coming.
They have coconut cream pie. It's a customer's favorite. It's a customer favorite there. Decent wine list. Lots of specialty cocktails. They have a weekend brunch, which looks fantastic, but I've not been yet. They have homemade corned beef hash with hollandaise made in-house. Homemade pancakes and waffles, omelets, and more. TheStageRestaurant.com if you want to check them out. What a great place.
New Hampshire.
I love a good corned beef hash when it's made in-house. Sometimes you end up getting them and they're a little on the salty side. I prefer them to be a little less salty, and if I want to add salt, I can add salt. But to me, there is nothing better than a crispy hash with a couple of poached eggs on top and deep-fried home fries on the side.
It's so commonplace for diners now to just take the easy way out, buy the number 10 cans of pre-made hash, which is, I'm sorry, but it's basically dog food. I just
I
can't
won't eat that.
it. It's garbage.
I won't eat that.
It does take a little bit of effort to make homemade hash, but when you get it, man, it is awesome.
There's a place near me in Hudson, Donna's Diner, and they have home fries 3 or 4 different ways: deep fried, regular, sweet potato, and they have potato puffs. Those are the 4 that they'll do. But they make a homemade hash that is just to die for, and you can only get it on the weekends. It's the only time they have it. So sometimes I can get it for breakfast on a Thursday, but always on Friday, Saturday, Sunday it's available, and that's where I get it.
And it's in Hudson? Do you know the website by chance?
I don't. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let us know. So I put it on the website.
This is Donna's, you said?
Yeah.
They make donuts there?
No.
No? Is it Donna's?
They make unreal muffins, though, and not just regular muffins. They'll make French toast muffins, blueberry cobbler muffins. Like their muffins are the next level.
Really?
Really good.
Better than my donut muffins?
Nothing is better than your donut muffin. That was...
Donut muffin. Yes, I had it.
You had 5.
I did.
You had 5.
Well, they were
I didn't
little.
know you could do that. You hear of the muffin croissant? I mean, the donut croissant?
Yeah,
No, this is a different...
Cronut.
Yeah, the cronut, nothing. This says everything over the cronut. It is a muffin donut.
You haven't had the treat that I brought yet, but I brought you guys homemade cinnamon buns with a thin layer of pineapple and brown sugar.
I saw a video of it being made.
Ah, you did. I was putting on the glaze.
Yes.
Glaze. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that. So going back to our road trip in Keene, Little Zoe's Takeout and Take and Bake is what it's called. It's a pizza shop where you pick up your pizza and bake it at home.
Okay.
And there's a national chain. I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but there's a national chain.
Yes.
It's one of the largest pizza chains in the country. We don't have them here in the Northeast.
We do. We have one here at the mobile station, within the mobile station here in, that is Wyndham.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
right on the corner there.
And it starts with an R. Oh, I can't think of the name of it.
Well, it's one of the largest pizza chains in the country does this, but this is a single-owned shop, Little Zoe's Take and Bake. And what's interesting about this place is they offer 5 styles of crust, 12 sauces, and over 70 toppings. They have traditional crust, whole wheat, gluten-free, rosemary, parmesan, and seasonal. Sauces are red, Alfredo, spicy barbecue, creamy tomato, pesto, and 7 more. Toppings are the typical ones that you know, and then they have unusual ones like roasted corn, peppers, marinated onions, tasso ham, which is Louisiana kind of ham, green beans, and 65 more. Great place, Little Zoe's. They have 30 combos, including a Reuben and a Magnum PI. Magnum PI, this is great pizza. Canadian ham, bacon, pineapple, almonds, red sauce, and cheese blend. What
See,
a great
now
place.
you see something like almonds as an ingredient, and to me, now I have to get that. That screams out to me, order this. That's awesome.
Yeah. If you want to know why we put a skinny guy on the show, that's why. Because you will eat stuff.
I will try it. I'm willing to try it.
I love that. So if you want to check them out, it's littlezoes.com, Z-O-E-S, littlezoes.com. And if you're craving a fresh cup of roasted coffee in the Keene area, the Prime Roast Coffee Shop in Keene is a place that's been there for almost 25 years. Owner Judy Rogers started with a 25-kilo roaster, but now has the capability to roast in quantities large enough to ship product to your home while still maintaining the quality that she demands. Awesome roasted coffee, friendly cafe. It's inviting, offers outdoor and outdoor seating in the nice weather. They sell French press mug and AeroPress coffee brewer, which is what I use at home. I know it's what you guys use at home. Great cup of coffee.
Now, here's the thing about coffee. Coffee is all about slow and low. You
Yes.
get big chains that'll do 1,000 pounds of coffee at a time, and they're roasting them in some ridiculous amount of time, like 4 or 5 minutes. They burn the sugars in the bean, and the coffee all tastes burnt. And people are like, oh, I like a strong coffee. That's not strong coffee. It's the lowest amount of caffeine that you can get because it's been burnt off. All you have is that deep burnt or very roasted flavor.
It's consistent.
It is consistent, but it's
because
burnt.
It
But you got these little mom and pop places that make the coffee. They'll do 100 pounds at a time. The temperature is much, much lower. They caramelize the sugar in the bean. And what that really does for your stomach, because coffee will often upset your stomach, it keeps the acidity low and the sugars high. So you get a much sweeter, much more aromatic, and to me, much more enjoyable cup of coffee.
If you're drinking real well-roasted beans, as you just pointed out, and I'm glad you mentioned all that, because you're 100% right. If you're drinking that quality coffee, you never get an acid stomach.
Never.
There's a huge national chain which is known for making great coffee. I'm not going to pick on anybody, but if I have
They
more
think
than
they're stars. They think they're stars, but they're not. I'm just saying.
you're awful. If I have more than one of their small coffees, I will have acid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every single time. And there's a local brewer here called Coffee, and it's not your typical little cafe, but they do have a roaster on spot. They do buy only small batch, high-quality beans.
And they do have the Mr. Jonathan blend that you can ask for by name and buy it by the 1 and 2 pound bags. They'll make it up for you right on the
And
spot.
it tastes like it has cocoa in it, but it doesn't.
Well, because they have Ethiopian mocha Sidama in it.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
They're one of the few places that has this kind of coffee. It's called Ethiopian mocha Sidama. It is a true mocha. It's not a flavored mocha. It's a coffee bean that naturally tastes like mocha. Supposedly, this particular farmer only has like a dozen bags, 100-pound bags to sell a year. And this guy, Coffee, here on North Broadway in Salem, New Hampshire, buys 9 of the 12 bags every year.
Yep.
It is one of the most fabulous coffees. Now, it's not cheap. It's like $35 a pound.
Yeah.
but it is one of the most fabulous cup of coffees you'll ever have.
Mine only has a third of it in there, so I think you can get a pound of my coffee for about $22. That isn't what I pay for it, but regular people.
So going back to our road trip in Keene, New Hampshire, remember to try Prime Roast and say hi to Judy Rogers and tell her you heard about us, heard about her place on the well-seasoned Gourmand, or you can order her coffee and have it shipped to you if you don't want to go to Keene at primeroastcoffee.com. All right, moving on to the Bargain Bites segment of our show. We're going to talk about a place called Gene's Flatbread Cafe, which has nothing to do with the name. This is hilarious. Well, very little to do with the name. They have 3 locations, Boston, Westford, and Woburn. The menu at Gene's is not big. It is actually an Asian restaurant, Chinese to be specific.
Wow, not what you would think.
Not
Flatbread
at
pizza
all.
type of thing. You know?
Yeah. So Gene is he is from Xi'an, which is XI apostrophe AN region in China. And in Xi'an region, they don't eat rice like the rest of China. They eat noodles.
Okay.
And they're known for the hand-pulled noodles, which they make at their locations every weekend. And if you go, you have to get them. The spicy hand-pulled noodles are $6 for beef and pork or lamb flatbread sandwich, which is where the name comes from, Gene's Flatbread Cafe. The lamb flatbread sandwich is $4.50. It's more like a bao sandwich. It's small, but it is the handmade bread.
Order 2.
Yeah. They have a hand-pulled noodle soup for $11, hot and sour dumpling soup for $8.87, or $1.50 each for the dumplings. Gene Wu came here 15 years ago, as I said, from Xi'an, northwest China province in Shanxi. He came here to study chemistry and ended up opening a noodle pulling restaurant, and that's the end of that story. He originally opened in Chelmsford, and he got a huge following, closes it, opens another one in Boston, and he does well, but then everybody in the Chelmsford region misses him, so he rebuilds or just recently came back to the Westford area and is on Littleton Road in Westford now too. So if you want to check out some really interesting, not your typical Chinese food at all, forget that you're going to a Chinese restaurant, you're not, but you want to check out some really interesting dishes, make sure you check out these spicy hand-pulled noodles. $6 or $4.50 for a little sandwich. Awesome little place. It really is a find. This is an expert level place. If you're a real expert foodie, you will seek this place out. And we're going to move on to our breakfast bite. Mr. Jonathan talked about his place in...
That's right.
And what is it?
Hudson, New Hampshire.
And what's it called?
Donna's.
Donna's. We're going to talk about a little place in Providence, Rhode Island for weekend brunch called the Salted Slate. They use the finest ingredients from local and international growers and producers. Chef Benjamin Lloyd says his job is to highlight and draw out the best qualities of every ingredient he uses. Not your usual frozen home fries and pancake sort of place.
I've heard of this.
It's famous. This guy is
All right.
unbelievable. Definitely start out with the Salted Slates bag of warm donuts. You got to.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what you.
Yes.
When you go, that's what you start with.
If you see a bag of donuts on the menu, you should start with that.
Yes.
Salted Slates. Yes, please.
Yes.
Bag of warm donuts. They're warm, yeasty, slightly glazed, yummy, amazing. I suggest everyone get their own bag. Don't get a bag and share. It's they're little donuts. All the bacon, sausage, ham products are from local farms. That's impressive.
Very cool.
Pat's Pastured Hogs is the name of the place. Believe me, you can tell the difference at a place like this. You're not going to make a bad choice. They have chicken and waffles, omelets, Benedict, salads, sandwiches, burgers, all that kind of stuff. They have lemon ricotta pancakes.
All right.
Yeah, those are a good time. So I'll have the donuts with bacon and the lemon ricotta pancakes, please.
Do you just walk in and say, give me the bag of donuts while I wait for my table?
Yeah, give me the bag of donuts now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like it if you say that.
All right.
I like to say to the waitress, know your role, get me the bag of donuts now.
That's it.
No, I would never say that. I always treat waiters and waitresses with respect.
Absolutely.
Awesome place. Now, it is a breakfast place, but they do have charcuterie and cheese plates that are extremely well done as well. You can check them out on the saltedslate.com. They're located in Providence, Rhode Island at 186 Wayland Ave. Definitely want to check that place out. And that concludes.
Nice. Well, action-packed, I
show.
got to say. There's plenty of stuff. If you didn't say 100 different places here today, we got at least a dozen pizza places, a half a dozen breakfast places,
And
great deals, great food.
that's what we do. So next week when we come back on the Well-Seasoned Gourmand, we will have a new recipe of the week. We're going to be taking a trip and telling you about new and exciting places to eat right here back on the Well-Seasoned Gourmand. Thanks. Good night, everybody.